Today, the world knows Nikola Tesla by the name of electricity generation, but he also made many scary inventions which are very difficult to believe. In 1896, he accidentally made an earthquake generator whose size was so large that it could fit in his pocket. And the damage was so great that it could shake even the tallest building. He tested this device in his laboratory. The neighbors thought that there was an earthquake and they came out of fear. Then Tesla took that device and set out in search of an under-construction building. On the way, he saw a 10-story building in which workers were working. He put this device on the steel frame of the building. After a while, the workers got scared from above and ran down as if an earthquake was coming. The police were called, but Tesla put his device back in his pocket without telling anyone and left. He said that if this device had been there for a little longer, the whole building would have collapsed. He himself admitted this in an interview. But the question is, how can anyone bring a device the size of a pocket? Actually, Nikola Tesla didn't want to make this device. In fact, he was working on a project that would be able to transfer energy from one place to another. That too, without a wire and without any expense. Most of his life was spent studying frequencies and vibrations. In this field, he could see and understand anything that no one after him could see or understand in that way. His idea was that he would create a special frequency vibration through a device and put it on the ground. These vibrations would be caught by a receiving device lying on another place from the stones on the ground, which would decode that frequency and convert it into energy or electrical current. Just like a sound energy travels in the form of waves, our world vibrates at a particular frequency at all times. This frequency varies from 7.83 Hz to 33.8 Hz. Tesla said that if he could set this small device on the vibration of the Earth, then there could be a devastating earthquake all over the world. People used to make fun of him for listening to these things. But then the day finally came when the world started taking Nikola Tesla seriously. Welcome to Curious World videos once again. Viewers, there is probably something in our everyday life that Nikola Tesla has not touched. From electricity to talking on the phone in any corner of the world. Nikola Tesla has had a very big hand in all this. Before him, it used to be very difficult to get electricity from one place to another. So that electricity could only be transmitted for a few meters, and even that did not run more than a small bulb. But Tesla invented alternating current and proved his ability to the whole world. This was the point in his life when people started taking him seriously. Because now the same electricity that used to be transmitted in the form of direct current only a few meters away was now converted into AC power and started being transported to factories and industries thousands of miles away. In addition to this, Tesla was also the inventor of the hydroelectric power system, due to which today America's 31% electricity and China's 95% electricity is produced. It was Tesla who gave the world the gift of wireless communication. These were his inventions that the world is using today. But did you know that Tesla had invented more than 300 things in his life? But he was somehow prevented from bringing them to the world. For example, he made alternating current, but now he wanted that, like wireless communication, electricity should also be transported around the world without wire. He had a lot of knowledge, but one thing was extremely lacking, and that was money. He took this idea of his and went to J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan liked his idea and decided to give Tesla $150,000 funding. To transmit electricity without a wire, Tesla started several experiments in New York. There was also a tower in these experiments, which made people very scared and often complained. That's why Tesla started his experiments in Colorado and built a new 180 feet tall tower there, which cost more than necessary. Tesla believed that with the help of this tower, he would be able to send wireless electricity all over the world. And that too using the natural vibrations of the Earth. J.P. Morgan, who funded Tesla's project, was also a major investor in electric wires and its insulation factories. In addition, J.P. Morgan was also behind many copper mines in America. He might have known that Tesla had succeeded in his experiment, and if this happens, it could cause a lot of damage to his electric wires business. That's why he not only refused to give Tesla more money, but also told other investors not to invest in Tesla's project. What would Nikola Tesla have done? For the next few years, he lived with the dream of wireless electricity. And when he left this world, For the next 10 years, the government had seized his property. All his research work remained secret for many years. And even after that, many people believe that Tesla's wireless electricity formula has not been made public. Now the question arises, did Nikola Tesla get any secret formula? Was he really working on free electricity? Many experts believe that Nikola Tesla had understood the vibrations of the Earth well, and maybe he was going to use this vibration to introduce a new type of electricity in the world. He used to say in his life that if you want to find out the secrets of the universe, then start looking at it in the form of energy, frequency, and vibrations. Maybe he was right, because after his death, scientists started researching on frequency and vibrations, so they were surprised to see that everything in the world is vibrating at its own frequency. Understanding the frequency of one thing can really not only transfer energy to the other thing, but it can also be controlled. For example, look at these two forks, which physically have no connection to each other. The frequency of these two is the same, that is, by tapping them once they vibrate 440 times per second. But the surprising thing is that by tapping one fork, the other fork starts vibrating on its own.
If I tap this fork, putting little pulses of energy into it, the second fork will also vibrate in sympathy.
The wireless energy transfer that Nikola Tesla was talking about was probably something like this. Maybe he had found out some secret frequency, but those documents have not been brought forward to date. History has shown that all the wars that have taken place in the past 150 years have mostly been on the basis of oil. There were many operations in the War of Gulf, the Kuwaiti oil fires, the Iraq War, and even the World War I and II, in which oil reserves were targeted, the fossil energy that caused so many wars. The thing to think about is that if anyone could use the frequency of the Earth to create free electricity or free energy, then there would be no demand for this oil in the world. In addition to all these things, there were many other inventions of Tesla, which were either destroyed from the beginning or were not further worked on after Tesla left, like the death ray beam. It was a mass destruction weapon, like a nuclear bomb. In an interview in 1934, Tesla said that this weapon could kill millions of people thousands of miles away, or as far as the curve of the Earth allowed us. This was Tesla's new electric weapon, which could generate 50 million volts. For comparison, this weapon could generate 166 times more volts than the amount of volts in the sky. In addition to this, Tesla also gave the idea of a thought camera. Just like a camera can capture everything that our eyes can see, Tesla's idea was that our thoughts could also be photographed. With this, whatever a person is thinking will come out as a photo. This thought camera of his never took a practical form, but was inspired by his idea and became an X-ray inventor in 1895. Nikola Tesla has been such a scientist and engineer who has never worked for money. If he wanted, he could have made a lot of money from his invention. Like others, he could have cashed his patents, but when he died, he didn't even have enough money to clear his hotel bill. His death is still a mystery. On January 7, 1943, his dead body was found in his hotel room. Officials say it was a natural death. But a large number of people believe that Nikola Tesla was killed. But what is the real truth? Was everything published after keeping his documents in his possession for 10 years? Or are Tesla's few secret files still in some corner? This will probably be told in the future. I hope you will like and share this video of Curious World. Thank you for your loving comments. See you in the next video.